reason Airbnb hosts are losing thousands of dollars every single month, but they don't even know it. Number one reason that Airbnb hosts lose money every single month is they watched a couple YouTube videos. Their Uncle Frank used to Airbnb in Philadelphia, and they believe they should jump into every market. So the number one reason that you'll fail in Airbnb is the wrong location. So I'm gonna give you guys 5 cities that are on fire right now, as of this video right now, 5 markets that are unbelievable. We have 3,100 students, and I'm gonna share with you my top 5 markets, and then I'm gonna reveal the other 9 reasons that most Airbnb hosts losing thousands of dollars a month. And that is this: Orlando, Florida; Scottsdale, Arizona; Las Vegas, Nevada; Miami, Florida; and Jacksonville, Florida. These are my top 5 markets as of right now that you can get into relatively easy. Most of them no permit needed. Great hospitals, great travelers, lot of job growth, bigger cities, and just an unbelievable Airbnb markets. Number 2, paying too much for rent. Remember, this is an arbitrage model, which essentially means we're going to a landlord who's renting their property, and they've been sitting on a property for longer than 6 months. You guys can filter this right there in Zillow to target a landlord that is in massive pain. Because if a landlord's been sitting on a property for 6 months vacant, they're likely to be very eager and motivated to rent you the property to let you use it for short-term rentals. But if we were to rent a property, we would want to stay under $2,500 a month. And what a lot of times these people that are coming into these properties and these wannabe Airbnb hosts, they're going to get a $5,000 rental property in Beverly Hills, and they're wondering why they're not making money. I would like to keep the rents under $2,500 for a 4-bedroom property. If you're gonna do a 3-bedroom property, I'd like to be under $2,000. If you're gonna do a 2-bedroom property, I want it under $1,500. And if you're gonna do a 1-bedroom property, less than $1,250 per month. That gives you plenty of room. And then also always check the data in AirDNA first. So go to airdna.co, take the address from Zillow, post it into AirDNA. It's gonna give you the revenue of the property. The formula is revenue divided by 12, minus the rent, and then minus an additional $300 for electric and water. That'll give you your potential net profit, and you'll be able to see, with rent and utilities, here's what I should likely bring home to put in my pocket after each month. Number 3 is poor photos. Over and over again, I have seen people come to me from other coaching companies or brand new in Airbnb, and they go, I want to get onto Airbnb. They get a property and they put up photos from a cell phone. Guys, if you're going to get onto Airbnb, the number one thing that will sell the Airbnb listing, number 1, is called the hero photo. The photos of the property are what sell the property. So if you got great photos on Zillow and you can transfer them to your Airbnb account, great. But if not, go to homejab.com. They're generally about $6, $7 a photo. Get yourself anywhere between 15 and 20 photos. Spend the $200, get great professional photos, and then put them on your Airbnb. I think statistics show right now you have a 200 to 300% chance of booking the property over cell phone photos. 200 to 300% more bookings with professional versus cell phone. That's another reason people are failing. Number 4 is a weak title. This is a big one because a lot of people are talking about, I want to get into Airbnb, and they put up beautiful home, 4 bedrooms. That is a weak title. You want to have 2 to 3 amenities inside the title of what you're trying to attract in a property. So if I had a 3-bedroom property, would I say beautiful property by the pond, hold 6 people? Or would you want 5-star, travel nurse friendly, minutes to XYZ hospital? Now that title is going to do really well. It's going to bring in travel professionals. You want at least 2 to 3 amenities. Now, if you're going to go for the pool property, you might want 5-star home, minutes to beaches, minutes to blank, whatever you're trying to draw in. But typically what you want to do in your title is have at least 2 to 3 amenities of the property itself or what you're trying to draw into the property. We've been teaching corporate rentals, so we're targeting nurses, doctors, patients, engineers, and military. Like in a case on our properties, we might say luxury home, minutes to Mayo Clinic and beaches. Now that title has the two big amenities, people that are coming into water. Remember, a pool property or a property close to water is always going to do better than any other property, right? So if you can have a property with one of the 4 H's, you guys know the 4 H's, hills, hospitals, hotels, H2O. What I try to do personally, and what I teach my students, is to combine 2 H's. What I've done personally is I combine the H2O, which means a property that's close to water, like close to the ocean, close to the lake, or it's got a pool or a hot tub at the property, and I combine it with the other H, which is the hospitals. So if I can find a property that's 2 or 3 miles away or less from a major hospital and it's got a pool or a hot tub at the property, it's game over. That property generally does well on Airbnb and short-term rental platforms. Number 5 is too few beds. Even if you get a 1-bedroom property, go to Walmart and go buy a $20 blow up so that you can have the additional 2 places for somebody else to sleep. So a 1-bedroom property generally brings in 2 people. But if you had a blow up bed from Walmart, you can now put 4 people in a 1-bedroom. And in this case, remember, if we're renting the property for $1,250 and we get 4 people in there, guess what? You're going to do well on Airbnb because you can host more people, and people tend to pay more when they can put more people in the property, right? If it's a 4-bedroom property, that usually holds 2 times the amount of bedrooms. So that would hold 8 people that are coming into the property. But if you have a blow-up bed, now you can put 10 people in that same 4-bedroom property. Number 6, cheap furniture. Please do not go to cheap places and get furniture. You want something that is not IKEA that's going to fall apart like a fake $40 alligator suit in the rain. You want to make sure that you are dealing with at least quality furniture. A lot of great places you can get furniture. West Elm Outlet. You got West Elm. You've got Amazon. They can deliver great furniture. Even Facebook Marketplace. You can get a lot of the name brand stuff for discounted prices, right? So just make sure, guys, you're not getting cheap furniture, because when somebody sees cheap furniture in a listing, they instantly think you cut corners and they don't want to stay in the property, because if you cut that, what else did they cut? Number 7, guess what? Your prices are too high. You have to be able to look at other Airbnb listings, and you can do this on Airbnb. You can do it on Airbotics. You can do it on AirDNA. Check other listings in that time frame of when you're putting your property live, and guess what? You'll be able to see what other people are doing with the same amount of bedrooms and the same amount of bathrooms, and you can price it accordingly. If you got a 2-bedroom property and everybody else in that neighborhood is renting their property on Airbnb for $150 a night and you got it at $350, well, guess what? You're probably not going to get bookings unless you have some extraordinary thing that nobody else has, like amenity, like a pool inside the property. Other than that, you want to make sure you're comparable in price so that you're not overpricing the market. Also, another one is prices are too low. How do you actually know what to price it at? Well, I'm going to give you a little secret here. In order to know if your prices are perfect, you have a software you can use called Price Labs. Basically, that software will let you know what over 100 properties in the area, what they're pricing for. It's going to base it on seasonality. It's going to base it on the months. It's going to base it on the years. It's going to base it on previous data, and you'll know exactly. And it also prices it for you, so you don't got to keep going in there and changing it every day. You can actually have that software, and it'll dictate and make the changes automatically for you based on holidays, season, up, down, months, etc. It's basically a hands-off approach, which helps a lot of the Airbnb hosts feel comfortable, because again, if you don't know the market real well because you're doing it remotely, you just want to make sure that you're pricing it appropriately. And if your bookings are going down, that generally means that your prices are too high. If you get too many bookings, guess what? Raise the prices. And a lot of people think that 100% occupancy is actually good. Believe it or not, 100% occupancy on properties is a bad thing. Let me tell you why. If you're completely booked out, does that mean your prices are too low? Yes. What you want to be is around 92 to 94%. We have found a sweet spot that if our prices are too high, right, we're not getting any bookings. If our prices are too low and we're overbooked, you want to have about 26 to 28 bookings per month. We found that to be the perfect price. Like, we give you an example. If you price the property at $100 a night for this illustration, and you book it out for 30 nights, you brought in $3,000. What if you priced it at $170 per night, but you only got 90% bookings, which is 27 nights? You're going to times the $170 per night times the 27 nights, and that's much more than $3,000. So again, You're gonna play around with the market. You can check these numbers on, even on AirDNA, it'll give you what your ADR, it's called your average daily rate. You can check it there. Or you can get the paid service and use Price Labs and know exactly what it's gonna price it, and it'll automatically change it for you daily. Number 8, make sure you have fast Wi-Fi. When people are coming into the property, specifically travel professionals, they want to make sure they can sit down at a desk. So again, this is another key thing that most people miss. Put a little desk with a chair there so somebody can actually work, because remember, they are there to work. And so if you have a desk they can put up their computer and they can actually use the Wi-Fi inside the property, and you didn't go cheap. Now they can work very fast. They're getting things done. It's going to get you a 5-star rating, as opposed to weak internet, because this is a big constraint in a lot of Airbnb hosts. They go skimpy on the Wi-Fi connection. People complain, and you end up getting a 1, 2, or 3-star where you could have got a 5 because you have fast Wi-Fi. And I'm going to also add to this, I know it's off topic, but make sure you don't go skimping on your bed. A bed is where people spend the most amount of time per day in. So if you're going to get a bed, make sure you put a pillow top on top of it if it is not already very comfortable. If you're going to do pillows, make sure you get one firm and one soft. Some people like the firm, some people like the soft. So if on your bed you have 2 firm and 2 soft, let the guest choose which one they like better. It gives them options. But again, comfortable bed, good pillows, fast Wi-Fi, you guys are in. Number 9, a weak kitchen. If I'm trying to bring in somebody like a travel professional, in this example, if I want to bring in a nurse, travel nurse, she's going to stay, or he's going to stay there for a 12-week contract. They want to know that when they get to that property, they don't have to go out and buy everything. So you want to make sure you have utensils, forks, spoons, pots, all the utensils they need. You want to make sure they have all the dishes, the bowls, the plates, the cups, the coffee cups, a Keurig machine. Everything you can think of. I even put a mustard, ketchup, and mayonnaise and bottles of water. I give a free bottle of wine, a bunch of snacks, because I want somebody to know when they get there, they have everything they need minus the food. We do a 12 spice rack that has almost every spice you need. I've got cooking spray. I've got oils. You want somebody to stay longer? Make sure that kitchen is fully stocked. And when you're putting your Airbnb account up, open up all the drawers and make sure the photographer is taking pictures of everything to put on your listing inside that kitchen, so that when somebody goes to your listing, they get to see everything and they can say, this is a great property. I can stay here a long time. I don't have to go out and buy everything. We do the bags, the quart size, the gallon bags. We do tin foil, give enough toilet paper, napkins, paper towels. I fully stock every property, and a lot of our stays are going to be 12 weeks to even 12 months at a time. You're not having somebody come in for a day and leaving. We generally host travel professionals that are coming in for a couple weeks to a couple months. And the reason is because they see the property and they go, I can stay here for a long time. It attracts to that kind of person versus a vacationer. Number 10, pricing every day identical. So what you guys are doing is you're going into your Airbnb account and you're making $150 for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is not how you do it, guys. If you're going to do that, let Price Labs actually do the pricing strategy for you. And if you don't have Price Labs, what I like to do is I like to make it to where the weekends are 25 to 30% higher than the weekdays. For example, if I was doing $100 a night, I would go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at $100. And my Friday and Saturday would be $125 to $135 per night. Weekends always book out generally first. Weekdays are gonna book last. So I also do this inside of the Airbnb account. I want my weekends to be 2-day minimums. What we have found is if you can structure it like this, you generally do well. I do a pricing strategy where I do it 25 to 30% higher on the weekends, but I also let them only book for one night during the week, and the weekends I make them book for 2 nights. So Friday and Saturday I do a 2-day minimum, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I do a 1-night minimum. This is gonna help you out tremendously, guys. Just knowing that strategy in this video, go back through this video 100 times if you need to. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Every subscribe, every thumbs up, leave me a comment. Tell me if I'm completely crazy. Tell me something that I might have missed. But please leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you guys need help with any of this at all, reach out to me. Send me a message in there saying you need help. I'll reach back out. We got 3,100 students that are doing really, really well. Love to have you part of our team, part of our family. But if you need help at all with getting your first property, your next property, or how to scale this, doing arbitrage, would love to have you part of our family. God bless, be safe. Message me below. Bye.